Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for that introduction and also for the wonderful words that you've said. And I'm extremely happy to be here this afternoon. I thank Dr. Anita and all the members of staff of Government Degree College, Gajwel, for making this possible and taking this initiative and creating this wonderful platform for all of us to learn together. A lot has already been said about CLT by the various speakers earlier. So let me take the next 45 minutes to 60 minutes that has been given me to present some of my own personal experiences with CLT and also how we can actually employ the techniques that we have learned in our classrooms. Before I begin, I request all of you to please switch on your cameras and be active throughout. And wherever possible, get involved, ask me questions. I think, and raise symbol. And if you raise that, I'll know that you have a question or you have an input or you would like to say something to me, and I'll stop and invite you. Don't allow me to go on speaking continuously. Okay, so this is about the CLT techniques for teaching language skills, especially in our context, English language skills. CLT does not apply to English language alone. It can be used to teach any language for that matter. So in the context of teaching English in India, in our kind of situations, how can we use the principles that we have just been taught and we have seen in action? Let's see that. Before I begin, I just would like to begin by asking this question to you. Why don't our students speak English confidently? What stops them? What prevents them from effectively, fluently, confidently speak English? You can give your answers in the chat box and maybe we'll read some of them. Yeah, I've started getting some answers already. Yeah, being shy is one answer. So interference of the mother tongue is Kapolu's answer. And Ala Party Divya says lack of confidence and lack of exposure. And lack of vocabulary is D. Srinivas' answer. Fear of making mistakes is Sridevi's answer. And low confidence, Rahana Iffat's answer. And Sanjota says fear. Alapati Divya says lacking language competency and fear of English again is Dr. Fatima's answer. And there are many, many other answers too. I've created an acronym for you for easily remembering the 3 or 4 points that I wanted to make today. So one of course, as all of you have already told me, so fear of making mistakes, fear, you called it fear. So this is the obvious reason why our students do not speak English or do not use English for that matter. So they are not perhaps fully motivated. Some of them ask a question like, why should I learn English? It doesn't affect my life. I don't need it anyway. And I do not pursue studies further. Or maybe in the kind of environment that I live, English may not be necessary. This kind of lack of motivation also could be a reason. And insufficient exposure, one small textbook, maybe one class, 45 minutes of all that they get to. And even during that 45 minutes also, I know many teachers cannot afford to speak English all the time. So very little exposure is another reason. And finally, lack of the opportunity to use. So there are 4 points that I've made on the screen. I just would like you to take a look carefully at each one of them. Think, reflect, and give the number of the point that you think is most important and that stops your students from speaking English in the calls. Is it point number 1, fear? Is it point number 2, lack of motivation? Is it lack of exposure or lack of the opportunity to use? You can just write the serial number. That's enough. Thank you. 1, 4, 4, 4, 4. Many of you, 4, 3. Some of you say 3. And I think quite a lot of you say 4, it seems. Good. Yeah, some say 2 also. A few more answers. I would like everybody to participate as quickly as you can. CLT classes can happen only when you're all active and participative. Good. Thank you. So fear is one reason that you've already given. Let me just tell you. So, same way, a language cannot be learned unless a student is in command, a student is has an opportunity to use that in context, in a natural context. So this is where our system has failed our students. We are preparing our students, of course, to pass the examination. But unfortunately, how much time students get in a class to use English? If we are frank, and then if you, I mean, just consider how an English classroom in India happens. Most times, I mean, there is only one period of English. The other teachers may not use English at all, and even the English teacher may not all the time use English. And during that little time that's left, only the teacher uses English. Getting that opportunity in my class to help my students learn English language, and am I giving them exposure and opportunity to use language is an important question. Okay, let's quickly move on and see. These are, of course, already known to you. What are the skills that we aim at developing, building among our schools? We call them LSRW, SLRW, whatever way you call them. So speaking, listening, reading, writing are the 4 skills that we aim at, because these are the skills that our students need, right, to use English. They need to, of course, they are expected to use English communicatively in natural contexts, right, to become effective and confident users. To do all these 4, they need something else. What is that something else? They need rules of grammar, they need good vocabulary, enough vocabulary. They need to, when they speak, for instance, or when they listen to somebody, their pronunciation is one another area, maybe. Of the 4 skills that you see on the screen, listening, speaking, reading, writing, which do you think should get or will get a lot of priority, a lot of importance for your students? What is it that they need most? Right, tomorrow, when they finish their course and when they go out in real life, what is one skill that you would like to focus on or they need to focus on? You can give your answer in the form of answering the poll. You see the poll on the screen already. I've already got lots of responses and I'll show you the result. Yeah, which skill do you think is most crucial in the context of CLT? I'll wait for a few more seconds. Good. Quite a lot of you have already voted. I think some 65 of you have voted so far. Maybe a few others also can vote. I'll wait for the 2-3 seconds. Good. I'm ending the poll now. Yeah, as can be seen, these are the results. This is your vote. So 61% of you have rightly said speaking is perhaps the most crucial skill for your students. So all skills are important. We have that integrated approach to teach all skills. Students must be confident and must be effectively able to use all the skills. But the most important focus area for them, because they are going to use speaking most of the time outside the class or inside the class, the students need to speak a lot. So speaking is one area in which the focus should be, and that's an important and crucial skill that we need to focus on. And thank you very much for, I think, participating in the poll and telling me that this is one area that we all need to focus on as teachers. Let's move on from here. So the obvious next question is, if we identify that these are the 4 important skills, of them, of course, speaking is the most crucial. How do we go about this? How do we build these skills? How do we effectively help our students pick up these skills either in the classroom or outside? So I've just given some ideas and we'll develop them in course of time. So listening can be effectively built, effectively enhanced. The listening skill can be enhanced by actively engaging the students to listen to something. Students do not know how to listen. Students just hear things. So listening is, as I don't need to go into that. So listening is a very, very conscious thing. So we need to make a conscious effort to listen to something, but they don't know how to do that. So we have to ensure that the students are listening to us by making it interactive. How do we do that? We'll see in one of the few slides. Again, similarly, speaking, as earlier speakers have already told us, speaking can be built focusing more on fluency for the time being. Again, I told you, remember what I told you a little while ago. So we are not talking about teaching English in the classroom from the perspective of helping students pass the examination here. That's a different area altogether. So we are helping students pick up English language for communicative purposes. CLT is meant for that, right? So speaking skills can be built by building fluency first. And along with that, somebody already had said that fluency and accuracy should go together, but accuracy comes a little later. So if we students speak English fluently, right, and they become confident, and if they begin using English for their practical day-to-day purposes, accuracy gradually comes, grammar and all that. Then reading, by exposing them to different kinds of texts, we can help them become better readers of English language. And finally, we need to focus on clarity, coherence, when we teach them writing skills. So we are going to see each one of them in a little detail. But before that, let me have one more poll question. The second poll question that I'd like to ask you is, the question is, which of these classroom tasks is best suited for practicing and learning natural language? So you can choose more than one answer. Everybody can choose 1, 2, 3 answers. If you think 2 answers are correct, you can choose both answers. So the answers are: students play roles of interviewer and interview. That means you create a situation in the classroom where interviews are happening. Students are interviewing each other, and by interviewing each other, they learn language. And the other answer is students recite a prepared speech, a speech they are reading out, reciting it. The third one is the students describe a picture. There is a picture, and seeing the picture, they're creating language. And the last answer is students read out a text. Which 1, 2, 3 of these activities best help your students pick up English language successfully? Thank you very much. So again, some 65 people have answered already. I am just closing the poll now in 1 or 2 seconds. Very good. Thank you. I think it has crossed 75. Wonderful. I'm ending the poll now. I'm sharing the results here. So thankfully, all those who have answered the question have hit the right buttons. So most of you believe that organizing dialogues in the class, interviews, for instance, maybe pair work, maybe role plays, all these are examples of interviews. So maybe they are best suited, right? How many of us are doing this kind of an activity in the class? Again, don't worry about the syllabus. Don't worry about the time constraints that you have. Don't worry about the examination points, whether the examination is a written one or spoken one. All those we are not considering now. We are considering the CLT techniques now. So CLT technique can be effectively utilized only if students are engaged in the process of learning from each other by actively using the target language in context. So you have told them that you have to sit together, sit opposite each other. One will become the interviewer, one will become an interviewee, and you talk to each other and they learn English. And the next most percentage of votes have gone to the third one: students describe a picture. So though they are working individually, so what are they doing? They are seeing a picture there, and each one is describing a picture. So when they are describing, they're again creating language, right? It's not something that learning by heart and reproducing, but it is something that they are creatively doing, and that's how they learn English language. So these are some effective tools that we can use in our classes to learn English effectively. Yeah, well, let's move on. So let's see each one of these skills, how we, depending on the time that's available to us, let's see as many skills as we can try practicing in our classes. Again, suiting our convenience, suiting our students' need, the objectives for which we are teaching, etc., etc. The first one. So I deliberately avoided using the word teaching speaking skills. Instead, I've made the heading building speaking skills, because many of us believe that language skills can easily be taught. In the 2 or 3 examples that I gave you, driving cannot be taught, driving must be learned. Swimming cannot be taught, swimming can be learned. Skills. So also is a language. So the teacher can become a facilitator and create an environment where students are learning by using language. Always remember that word use, which is very, very important. By using. By swimming, we can learn swimming. By dancing, we can learn dancing. By driving, we can learn driving. So also we can learn a language only by using it. So how can we make our students use the language in the classroom is the question. So we have to build speaking skills. How do we do that? So we create structured interaction. Is creating a situation where the students must use language to participate. They cannot avoid. So when I'm speaking in the class, what's happening? The student is listening. Listening is not a certain way of teaching students to speak. So they can learn speaking only by speaking. But I have only limited time, 45 minutes. In 45 minutes, one speaks and 50 students listen. And these 50 students have never got an opportunity to speak at all. And there is no way they can learn a language, learn English. So what do I do? Instead of the teacher speaking and the students listening, I make the students speak. But if I make them speak, only one can speak to me. So what do? I create a situation where all of them speak to one another. How do they speak to one another? I create a situation where they are speaking to each other by giving them a task, a real life task, like the one that we've seen in the previous slide. So an interview, for instance. So a dialogue, a role play, a pair work, group work, all these are ways of creating situations in the classroom where students must speak to each other. Be ready for a very small activity. What we are going to do is, I am going to put you into small groups. All of you be ready. Please, your cameras on, all of you, in case you have any inconvenience at your place, it's okay. But otherwise, please switch on your camera so that it will be easy for you to participate in that. So I'm going to put you into small groups. I'm going to create breakout rooms. In each room, there will be about 5 to 10 of you, maybe 10 or more also sometimes. All these 10 of you are going to speak to each other. I'll give you 5 minutes time. During this 5 minutes time, what will you do? So you will discuss with others and you will identify one real world scenario. What is one real world scenario? Like in the previous slide, I told you an interview situation where one is an interviewer, another is an interviewee. Right? Another situation, for example, is maybe somebody going to a shop to buy something. There is a shopkeeper and there is a buyer. Right? So situations like you, all of you, if there are 10 of you in the room, each one of you can suggest one idea and discuss, and you arrive at some consensus. So any one good idea that you can bring to the class so that students are engaged in the process of speaking for the purpose of learning English language, right? Let them use natural language. And during those 4 or 5 minutes that you have, you arrive at some consensus. Then when you come back into the room, the main hall, you will tell us, some of you will tell us what topic that you have chosen. All that you need to do is choose a topic. That's all. The topic is such that you can use it in your classroom to help your students speak natural English language. Right? We are not worried about grammar and all that now. Natural English language in a situation, right? So please be ready. I'm putting you into the rooms now. You will go into the rooms maybe in a few seconds. Yes. Yeah, we are going to stop now. Yeah. I think, have all of you come back? I'll go to the gallery view to watch you. I'll wait for a few seconds. I think the rooms are closed now. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, any one of you who has been in a room and has got enough opportunity to participate in the discussion can raise your virtual hand and I'll unmute you. And you can, the other co hosts also can help me identify if there is any raised hand. And you can tell us what was the topic that you thought of. Anyone who participated in the discussion, please raise your virtual hand. You can raise your virtual hand by using the icon below, the symbol of raise hand. The physical hand I cannot see. I think one or two of you are trying to raise your hand. Any one of you? Yeah. Yes, I think Sabiha, you have shown thumbs up. But anyway, I think you want to speak. Sabiha, you can speak now.
Good afternoon, sir. So in our room, we have discussed the role play, sir. That the activity to be given activity.
Yeah, what is the role play that you
Hello?
thought of? What are the
So
roles?
the role play is, sir, the role play is the students acting as shopkeeper and customer, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you so much,
So we
Sabiha.
have talked.
Thank you so much. Somebody else? Yeah, I think I see Dr. Srinivas here. Srinivas, you can speak now. You can unmute yourself and speak. You need to unmute yourself, Srinivas. Srinivas, yeah.
Sir, very good afternoon, sir. So Srinivas from Hyderabad, working as an assistant professor in ACE Engineering College. Actually, in our room, 7 people were there. No one was responding. Myself and Arsha were discussing, the ins and outs of academic curriculum, like, novices, like, faculty who are unknown to each other. So we discussed about, this one, how many years you have in English, third year, first year, second, like that. So we exchanged the thoughts about it.
I understand what you did. Maybe I was expecting a situation where which you create in your classroom for your students to speak to each other. A real life scenario created in the classroom. For instance, there are two people speaking to each other at a bus station, at a railway station, at a vegetable vendor. So people play roles, or maybe they participate in a group discussion or a pair discussion. Dr. Shobha, would you like to speak? You can unmute yourself.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity, sir. If I'm given an opportunity to choose a topic for my students, and at the entry level or initial level, I would choose some ice-breaking activity. Okay. So the ice-breaking could be something know about oneself. I mean, I could ask them what they can describe of themselves, or else a topic which they wanted to have some interested areas. So in a general conversation, if I get to know they are interested in a couple of areas, one of that I'll choose and I ask them to speak as an individual activity.
The only problem with this is great. Thank you very much for giving that idea. But the only problem here is, so an individual activity, I mean, does not promote as much language as a pair activity or group activity. When people are speaking to each other, you are creating natural language, the kind of language that they need outside. So in our classroom situations, let's try to create opportunities for our students to interact with each other so that they get, I mean, the kind of exact idea how language happens outside. Fozia, do you like to speak again?
Good afternoon, sir. This is Fozia Begum from Hyderabad. Sir, I wanted to give always the real life situation to the students to make them understand about the speaking thoroughly. So whenever I teach, for example, as I was not there in a room, so I wanted to discuss what I do usually in my classes. Sir, whenever I teach tenses, for example, present continuous tense, I make a group of 3 people. And from class, I send outside the class, like they may be going to the office, they may be going to another class to interact with other people. One will be interacting with them, some of the questions, and 3 people will come back, and one will be interrogating the other student will be answering in a positive way, the other student will be making statements in a negative way. Okay. So by this, they'll be knowing about interrogation as well as giving answers in a positive and negative way.
Thank you, Fauzia. Thank you
very
so
much.
Yeah, I invite the last three. Please be brief. Perlin, would you like to speak?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity, sir. So basically, if I would give in like a real life scenario, so basically, I would ask my students to enact a scene where it usually happens
between deliveries, sir, because right now we do have a lot of technology where young students or our college students, they will be booking for all of these merchandise apps, food deliveries and all of that. So I would let them to enact between a delivery person and the person who is receiving. So I think that would be a great thing.
Excellent idea. Thank you, Perlin. Rapolu, do you like to speak?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. I conducted a practical experiment in my class, sir. When the movie Pushpa was released, I conducted a survey in the class that I asked to give the review on the film. Students are over enthusiastic. They gave much responses, stupendous responses I have received from the students on the review. And I drew so many kinds of skills from them. I think the students are very much interested in the movie reviews.
Thank you, Rapolu, and thank you, everybody. I'm sorry I'm not able to invite every one of you. It's okay, but the idea was not just to narrate your past experience in the class and to tell us your success stories, but to think of some ideas which you can use in your class to generate discussion, generate dialogue in the class. So what topics would you give your students was the question that I asked you. Some of you did a great job. So it can be one-to-one interaction. It can be a group discussion. It can be a topic where students talk to each other and then share ideas. It can be just a dialogue, a role play, whatever. But you think of some creative ideas. It can be a movie, like Rapol said, it can be a movie, but instead of asking them to talk about the movie that you've seen, ask them to become two characters. So they become two characters and they just talk to each other, whatever they know. Don't worry too much about the mistakes and all that. Let them become those characters and do a role play. Right. Or maybe one appreciates the movie, one criticizes the movie, but they talk to each other. So create situations where there is interest generated and also people use language in natural context. Remember this, language in natural context. So the job of the teacher is only to create the context, right? So once you give that context, once you give that situation in which students need to speak each other, the rest of the job is only to monitor that the activity is going on well. You go around and help them in case anybody is stuck. So this is how speaking opportunities can be created in the classroom, where students get real life-like situations and practice English language, practice using English language, and by using in natural context, their English is likely to improve. This is what we do. I'm just coming back to that. So this is how we can create this situation. Then, how do we build listening skills? The next question. So in case I want to create opportunities for my students in the class, apart from listening to me, or maybe listening to me also, but how do I ensure that the student is listening to me? There's no guarantee that the student is listening to the teacher or the audio that I am playing or the video I am showing, whatever. There's no guarantee. So can you quickly write some answers in the chat box? How do you ensure that your students are listening to you? What do you do to ensure that your students' attention to what you are saying or what you are playing is 100% assured? Ah, wonderful. Priyanka says asking questions and asking them to respond. Asking questions for every 15 minutes. Okay, right. Good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think you are on the job. Right. On the track. Right. So let's move on. So to ensure that they are listening to you, right, I am going to play a very, very short clip, right? And before I play the clip, even, I have shown you the title of what I am going to play. The title is How to Truly Listen. Let's suppose you are my students in the class today, and I am your teacher. I am going to play a short clip on the title, How to Truly Listen. And you have to guess what this topic is about, what this talk is about. So can you write in the chat box some few answers? What do you expect to be the content of what I am going to play? You have not heard it, but still you can guess because you know the title now. Listening with focus. Very good. Thank you very much. Alaga Party Divya. That's wonderful. Yes, effective listening. Priyanka's answer. Thank you very much, Priyanka. Listening to native speakers is Chinmay's answer. Dropping hints is by Swarna's answered. And listening to predict. Great. Very good. Interaction between students and teachers. Attentive. Thank you very much, all of you. I think all of you have got what I wanted to tell you. So what you can do in your class also, when you want to improve the listening skills of your students, don't just expose them to that small piece that you're going to play. Maybe you can generate interest. You are arousing their interest. You are preparing them. So now the student is more engaged in the process of listening because he has already made a guess. Oh, this may be about this. So once he starts guessing something, his attention is likely to be more effective. That's what we do. Okay, let's move on. So the second question, there is a word used in this text that you are going to listen. Only if you carefully listen to this short clip that I have got, it's a 1 minute clip. So within this 1 minute, the word kaleidoscope is going to be used. I'm not asking you for the meaning of the word kaleidoscope. You have to tell me what does the word kaleidoscope in this context refer to. Are you all ready? Can one or two of you say yes in the chat box? If you are ready, say yes. Good. Wonderful. So be ready. Now, it's going to begin now. Carefully. Pay attention to this. You have to listen to the word kaleidoscope and you have to tell me what does that word mean in the context in which it is used after you listen to it. Yeah.
A fullness of sound that those of you in the front few rows wouldn't experience, those of you in the back few rows wouldn't experience either. Every single one of us, depending on where we're sitting, will experience this sound quite differently. And of course, being the participator of the sound, and that is starting from the idea of what type of sound I want to produce. For example, this sound. Can you hear anything? Exactly, because I'm not even touching it. But yet, we get the sensation of something happening in the same way that when I see a tree move, then I imagine that tree making a rustling sound. Do you see what I mean? So whatever the eye sees, then there's always sound happening. So there's always that huge, just this kaleidoscope of things to draw from. So all of my performances are based on entirely what I experience and not by learning a piece of music, putting on someone else's interpretation of it, buying all the CDs possible of that particular piece of music, and so on and so forth. Because that isn't giving me enough of something that is so raw and so basic and something that I can fully experience the journey of. So it may be that.
Yeah. So you have to tell me, what does the word kaleidoscope in that context mean? One or two answers. So I'm waiting for answers from you. Okay. Sharing in different ways. Kauru's answer. Variety of experiences. Shahjahan's answer. Very good. Thank you. Wonderful. Experience and exploration is Sarita's answer. Not fully experienced. A mixture of our sensory perceptions to elicit personalized responses. Chinmay. Okay, your answers are great, wonderful. Thank you very much. But that's the point that I'd like to make is, how did I ensure that you are listening to that? What did I do to ensure that all of you are listening to that piece? Would you have listened to that with the same attention if the questions were not there? Yes or no? Suppose I did not give you questions, would you have paid the same kind of attention to it? No, certainly no. So I ensured that you are listening to the piece by first asking you to guess something about it. And then I gave you a question. It was a vocabulary question. It can be any question for that matter. It can be a comprehension question. It can be spelling, whatever. So it can be a pronunciation question. But what I did was I gave you the question so that you would pay attention to it. Maybe you can take a beautiful song to your class. And students would love to listen to songs. A simple English song taken to the class is a great idea. And you go to the class and tell them, oh, these are the 4 questions I'm writing on the board. You need to find the answers. I'm going to play this song once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, whatever. But after listening to the song, you have to answer these questions. And every one of them will certainly pay attention to the song. It does not happen if there is no task before. This is exactly what a language teacher does to use the CLT technique depends on this. See, we are creating a situation in the class. We are not just teaching them something. See, passing the examination, as I told you already, is different. There we teach them grammar, we teach them some essays, some poems and all that, so that a certain curriculum is finished, a certain syllabus is done, and the student is equipped to pass the examination. Here, that's not the goal. The goal is to see that the students begin using English language in context, in real life context. So we are playing something. When you take this, for instance, music or song or audio clip to the class, don't choose something that is beyond their level. Choose something interesting, something easy to follow. I chose something to suit teachers' interests. Maybe when I go to a class of students, perhaps I'll choose something much simpler than that. Right? Similarly, all the other skills, the reading skills and writing skills also. I'm stopping here with skills. You can give them texts like this with closed questions or any other questions so that again their attention is riveted to that, and you can teach writing also, guided writing, give them enough opportunity to do some kind of research before, gather information and start writing, etc. Use all that, all those useful tools that bring the real world into the classroom, and that's how we equip our students to become better users of the language. I'm sure you will all, in case you've not already been doing it, you will start doing it in a classroom tomorrow onwards, and you will help your students become fluent.
Take the screenshot of
so this is my email ID, and in case you would like to write to me about this presentation or anything else that you would like to interact with me, you are welcome to do that. This is my mobile number. This presentation that I have shown you today and many other slideshows that I created are available on these websites. And you can go there in case you want. You can take a screenshot. And thank you very much, Anita. Thank you, everybody, for this great opportunity that you've given me. I've enjoyed being here. Thanks once again.
Take a screenshot. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
I also would like to thank all the participants because there is one important reason. When we started in the morning today, there were 176 participants. Typically, what happens is when workshops like this happen, as the workshop progresses, people leave in the middle, and then towards the end, it's only 50%, 40%, sometimes 10%. So today, as I see now, even at this point of time, there are 156 participants. I think congratulations to Anita and the team for the wonderful effort that they have put in. If all of you switch on your cameras, I'd like to take a screenshot.
Yeah.
All of you. Yeah, that's good. Wonderful. Wonderful. That's great. Just wait for a moment. I'll take one more screenshot of the next page also. Just a moment. Yeah, great. Yeah, this should how a class be. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you so much.